That's good to know. So yeah, we can officially start. So I'm Priyansh, developer relations with Custom GPT. With me today we have Alden as well as Marco. So Alden basically is CEO and founder of Custom GPT, and Marco here is the product guy who will give you one of the features that I described in the agenda for today. That's the context engineering thing and how it will help our users get some pretty cool, exciting things. So that's Marco's part, and then I'll introduce you to some pretty social media bots, specifically, Discord, Facebook Messenger, Google Chat, Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp, and we also have Microsoft Teams, which is currently not in this slide, but it's also in beta version, which you might be able to use maybe next week. So it's all code only. You can just plug this to your Teams account or your Slack um, workspace, and it will fetch answers from Custom GPT via APIs. So the discussions, the README, how to deploy this, the steps, everything is there in each individual code README sections. I'll get through them and I'll show you a demo of few of them as well. So that's the agenda basically for today. We'll try to keep it very short, maybe 20 minutes at max, and then the floor is open to anyone who has any question with regard to this demo or the product itself. So yeah, are we good to go, Marco? Alden?
Yep.
Okay, great then. So let me just, so I already described you about what this call is going to be like. Then we have something called as custom injections, which Marco will talk about. But before that, I'll just want to give you a heads up that yes, recordings will be available, and it will be on our YouTube channel, as I basically tell every community call. You'll also get a link from me in our community Slack channel. So if you have not joined yet our Slack channel, please feel free to join it. We post every update, feature update, improvement, bug related things almost weekly into our community Slack channel. It consists of around 300 to 500 members now. I forgot even the count of it. So yeah, that's the quick update. So few things that got improved from the last time we did this developer office hours basically includes having links and sources as beta. So what this means is you might have seen this thing on our website, the small icon. Let me just show you right now in real time. That will make more sense. Let me share my entire screen. So if I go to CustomGPT.ai, just move it here. So this icon over here, our Alden handshaking you. So whenever someone asks a question like this, you got these links over here. You ask a few things, you got an answer. How to track that? So basically, that tracking can now be done in your dashboard. You will see, this link got clicked and it was from in-chat URL, or this was the link which was a basic citation. So this is in beta mode currently. You might be able to see them on your dashboards. Marco might be able to talk more about it on the use cases of it, or how it works. You can also see how many people clicked it, how often it got displayed, and the click rates as well for that thing. So now you have a better analytics of the links that's been shown here. So that's one major improvement. The next thing is, you can filter by in-chat URLs, classic citations, numbered citations, basically all the links that displayed in the chats. Are people clicking it or not clicking it? Which is the link that got displayed? Overall summary of all those things. That's a major improvement this week. Another being like the notifications thing. So now if your agent is ready to chat, you'll get a notification that, hey, your agent is ready to chat. It has done processing the documents or YouTube playlist or YouTube videos or whatever you throw at it. So that's a nice little thing that's been added to the product. And yeah, one more important thing on the API side of things is that we have now an intelligence reports API. That's intelligence report API that will be able to fetch customer intelligence data. So the screen that you see below, let me make it full screen. So now because this /reports/intelligence API is available, you can take the data and use these. Okay, the below two screenshots are actually our starter kits screenshot that is fetching the details from this reports slash analytics intelligence thing. So you can take the data, modify this chart however you want, have your own UI built on top of it, or however you want to consume it. So that's basically a new endpoint that's been added to the custom GPT's site. So that's all the improvements. A few things about the bug fixes. For major things, there will a bit more, but these are the major things. Like now, revenue agent is not over promising stuff to user, that got fixed. Issues that were flagged, like email reports not rendering, is also fixed. A number citation thing, which we're not currently opening instant PDF viewer, that's also fixed. And we also fixed an issue with the agent role selection, which sometimes might not be showing. So those were overall bug fixes of past weeks, majorly 2 weeks. And yeah, that's all from my side. I'll just hand this over to Marco to let's start with his side of presentation about the context engineering thing. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and then we can start. Yep, over to you, Marco.
Hey everybody. So let me give a quick introduction first, and then I will show you a quick live demo of some new features we released. So past few weeks, we also talked here on these dev hours about injecting context in bots and basically starting off these context engineering features that we have. And this basically everything help our agents kind of level up and know more, because previously you had basic agents that didn't have any static information. They were always responding in generic stuff. So whenever if you come to agent with some problem, some issue, it will just respond. It can ask you, who are you? What problem do you have? What problem did you have previously? Did you try this? Did you try that? And that was the, let's say, old level zero way of doing stuff. The first feature we released a few weeks back. Can you see my screen? The first feature we released a way back, and that is pretty simple to use, was this web page awareness, which I think we already talked about previously, which when enabled will enable agent to understand the web page it is on. So it will know if it is on page of some specific product or a feature or something. So when you interact with it, it will be able to proactively give you something about that. So if you're asking about some issue, it will be able to give some example based on that particular page you are right now on, because there's high chance that you are interested in something and you're starting interaction right about that feature that you're currently looking at. But we have now added something more that enables agent to know even more, and that is, and basically give it some sort of even higher level of personalized information about user who is chatting with the agent. And that is available on all deployment option. To enable it, you need to go to any deployment option settings, scroll down, and find this custom context feature, and simply click enable. And then you need to go back to your code snippet, because this is kind of information that only you have and only you can pass to the agent. So if you click on that learn more button, you'll get to this simple tutorial on our page where you can see basically all you have to do is put this little bit of information to your code snippet. And the magic part that can happen is actually, what are you going to pass to the agent? And that is something that you can modify dynamically. You can pass some sort of personal information that's available on the page that is related with user who is currently logged in, for example, like their name, their email address, their personal support ticket history, for example, if you connect some CRM and pull that data, or their subscription level or stuff like that. And I'll give you now some examples of that. Uh, First, I have this agent, which is pretty much the same agent we have on our website. And I passed it this bit of information. I told him you're chatting with Marko Mitrovic, he's product manager at CustomGPT, and this is his email address. And if I just say hello to the agent asking question, it will greet me by the name. And then it will also, if it was deployed on the actual website, it also know which page I'm looking at, so it can combine all that sort of information. And more interesting example with more data is this kind of a fake support agent, which I put some more interesting information. Again, I told him Marko Mitrovic, but I told him I've been using the app for 6 months. I told him who is my favorite agent, how I built that agent, some problems that I had before, and something that we possibly detected that user maybe in logs that user recently had some issue with. And then I can come to the agent and just say, I have a problem. And the agent will recognize who I am. It will ask me about stuff that I've been doing before and basically be able to be very proactive. And how you can use this is, like I showed, pass some sort of highly relevant information that only you have and use that to make agents more personable, more relatable, and basically more capable of solving issues with lower number of messages. So it doesn't need to ask user like, what do you need, who are you? It can get everything right there. You can use it we are using for our revenue agent on our website to try to find specific product for user based on industry they are working on or company they are at. Try to find good use case for them. And this is something that we are just starting to discover possibilities of. And we'll definitely be looking to improve this type of feature even more in the future by adding, making them more no code, easier to connect with all different systems that you may have in your backend. For now, this requires a little bit of work on your end to actually pass this valuable information to agent. And then we take it over from there and basically make these chats look alive and like you're chatting with a human. And just a final little bit of context is that this information is strictly kept inside this conversation. So agent knows it right there where you passed it. It is not saved anywhere. It is not saved in agent's knowledge base. So it cannot leak some sensitive information about one user to another or something like that. That could happen if you, for example, just pull your entire support ticket history in knowledge base with all the names, accounts, emails, and everything. This is just there used and not passed to Aegis knowledge base, so it has that element of isolation as well. So yeah, that was the quick demo I wanted to show you. If you have questions, you can ask now, or we can chat later. Depends on how Priyansh wants to run this.
Yeah. Priyansh, can I take the business angle of this a little? Right.
Sure, sure.
So, um, as you all saw, Marco explained how the technical aspects work, right? But in my mind, I'm thinking like, like say, Connor, you're working with an e-commerce site. How does this even help? Right.
Mhm.
So the problem before was that, even if you deploy a chatbot on an e-commerce site, the chatbots were pretty dumb, right? They were sort of like, the customer or the user had to come and explicitly ask the chatbot some question, right? However, now there's all there's a lot of information available for that user at that moment that can be used to enhance the user experience And consequently, the actual goal here, which is like, on an e-commerce site, you want to drive more sales, right? So the first feature that Marco showed was awareness, right? Which means that, say you are on amazon.com/shoes/plantar/Nike, right? That means that the bot now is very aware of the exact page and what the context is. So it is able to give much better answers and a much richer experience, which we have proven on our own website leads to much higher conversion goals, right? Now this is music to the ears of any marketing person, like driving more conversions, driving more leads, driving more appointments. Those are all really good things to do, right? And this can happen with literally zero coding. Like you saw, you enable web page awareness, and boom, the system will automatically detect the meta information on the page, incorporate it as part of the context, utilize the psychological techniques needed, and become like a lot more agentic than the regular chatbot experience, right? And so that's the first feature that we tested on our website, had fantastic, uh, you know, ROI. The second part that Marco showed was where you can inject your first party data into the chatbot, right? Like you saw previously, chatbots will be like, hello, how are you? Hello. Now the chatbots are literally saying, like, hi, Amelia, how are you? Right? You can pass it more richer information such that that interaction is a lot better, right? In case you're curious how we are using this ourselves, when somebody signs up for custom gpt, we know, you're asked your name and email, right? And previously the chatbot was there to help, and it would be like, hello, hello. Now it'll address person by name. It'll If he has given his email address, we will probably enrich it, find out more about his business, right? Such that, if you're a insurance company, we'll be talking about insurance. If you're a e-commerce company, we'll talk about e-commerce. Whatever, the conversation now becomes very much more relevant, right? And what this lets you do is, it lets you say like, okay, for this user, here is the specific rich information I have. Let's use that as part of the conversation, right? And that enriches not just the user experience, but it enriches the end results as well. So these are the two main things that, the world of chatbots is moving towards, this context richness, right? 2 years ago we started with knowledge, then couple of months ago it became like agentic, such that you can like have like rules and have the control the behavior of the chatbot. Now we are tacking on this additional context. So as you can see, by stacking all of these things in, the agent is becoming a lot more smarter in the type of decision. Just like how, employees, that old employee at a company, he's got so much knowledge in his head, he knows all the processes, he knows all the secrets. It's becoming like that as far as agents are concerned. So this is super exciting because it's getting real now. ROIs, values, outcomes, those are the things that the conversation is shifting to.
Yeah, that's exactly right on. So yeah, we see a lot of questions in the chat, but just give me 5 minutes and then we can shift to answering Q&A round because of the updates we still have pending. Just 5 minutes for that. And let me share my screen. You probably might be, yeah, this is the repo I was talking about the custom GPT integrations. So currently we have Discord, Facebook, Google Chat, Microsoft Teams, which is work in progress, Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp, and the docs for them are in their individual folders. So click on Discord board, you will see a README, a screenshot as well, and how to deploy the prerequisites, the step-by-step app setups with two modes. Like you can either use Google App Script to deploy or use normal code thing. So all informations are there. Just please take a look at it and you'll find those. I can show you a demo of one thing. So there are two different things that can be done with WhatsApp integration. So we used Twilio for this. So the first thing is either use a no code way to do thing. A no code way might be like you just click, and yeah, your WhatsApp bot is set up. That's the first thing. Second thing is usually a third party service like Twilio. So we used Twilio, we did some coding, some configurations here and there, and your bot is ready. The third thing is using Meta's business suite completely, where you interact directly with Meta's API and make your bot. The third way is little bit of complications. You might need a verified business account, some coding assistance, then you make the bot and then it interacts. So for now, this is V1 that we used Twilio. We'll be releasing a doc as well as a full step-by-step guide of how to use it with how to interact this with using native Meta APIs to do with WhatsApp. So for now, it's a Twilio account, a sample Twilio account. So if I say hey, so it will just tell me something like processing a request. So it goes to Twilio, then it goes to our RAG API, takes the response and gives it on my chat in WhatsApp. So yeah, hello, how can I assist you? I'll say how to file a report, something like that. It will again go back, talk to our APIs, and come back with information like this. So I did this just a few minutes ago before this demo. So to file an FIR, first information report in India, do these stuff. So it kind of works now, but it's a little bit slow because we are using a third party layer on top of it. But if it's a very necessary step for you, please go ahead and check out how to implement this. This is using free Twilio account, so that's why you'll see Twilio up here. If you want to use your custom number and custom name, you might want to take like subscription of there, but this is a just workaround for now. The second demo is about the custom GPT Slack bot. So again, here I can go and ask, hey, custom GPT bot, how are you? So it will reply me inside the own thread. So for this, I have to add this. Like this is my own personal Slack workspace. It says thinking, and it will just reply to me inside this thread only. So I'm aware that we do have a no code way of doing this, but we also now have a coded way of doing this if you want to extend the functionality of it. So now if something is inside the threads, so now you don't always have to mention custom GPT bot, hey this, hey that. You just say, tell me about something, like any questions which is inside your knowledge base. You don't have to go and tag custom GPT every now and then, and it will again answer in this thread itself. Uh, yeah, thinking, and it will answer. So this is a recent feature addition. Likewise, you can also say ask and ask any questions that you have. So that's also supported, and you can also talk it on your like normal DMs. Like, hey, it will answer on the DMs. How can I assist you today, and things like that. So those two are the ways. Feel free to either use this or the no code way that we offer. Information will be inside our docs, of course. And the third thing is, of course, the docs page. So it will just take 1 minute, and then we can go back to the question and answer thing. So for all these social media bots integrations and the starter kit UI that we demoed you in the last office hours, the docs for all of those are now available on like docs.customgpt.ai, and feel free to go and take a look at that. And as of again, all the videos recording of this session will be available on our YouTube channel inside this dev office hours community call. So with that, yeah, let's head back to the question answer things. Let me just share this. Great. So these were all the Slack bot. This is how Discord looks like. You can just ask question, &ask, tell me something about it, will answer your question. Telegram bot works the same way. press start and ask a question, it will answer seamlessly. So yeah, that's it. So that was all from my side. Now let's head back to questions. Ah, let's see.
I want just to quickly answer Connor's question
Yeah.
about how different is this custom context than custom persona in the API. It isn't, because in the VA API you would be able to do this and have these dynamic personas with every prompt if you wanted. But this now makes it possible in the app as well, in the no-code solution as well. So you can do that with all these deployments on whatever website you want.
Cool. Thanks.
Marco, is there a separate parameter in the API to push the context?
Yeah, it is, but you can achieve the same effect if you just added this text to persona that you're pushing via API, but you cannot do that in no code, of course.
Okay, cool. So it just allows a little bit of separation as such for API users. Okay, I can take the second question was from the C. Um, when one of your agents gives a wrong or misleading answer, what mechanisms do you have to detect it, and how do you correct it before it reaches the user?
Albert,
So,
sorry,
yeah.
This is Mario. Let me go back to the last question just for clarification. My understanding about the custom context when compared with the custom persona is that when I use the custom persona through the API, it actually replaces the persona that is set for the agent, whereas the custom context would not. Is that right?
Correct.
Great point.
There's the difference, right?
Correct. This is just addition to, it is passed to the bot as part of instruction, but just like a little bit.
Yeah, and just to confirm, do we have an API to use the custom context or not?
It should be there just to pass a parameter as you pass prompt. You can pass pre-prompt or external ID. It can be added as a parameter, and it should be.
I think Marco, his question is:
But I will have to.
Is it on the docs already, and is it part of the?
It is possible that it is not updated yet, as it is pretty fresh feature. I will have to check and get back.
Mario, it should be coming in, hopefully ASAP, like soon.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, good. That's good enough. It's a great feature, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah. So I'll take the next question from the C, which is when one of the agents gives a wrong or misleading answer, what mechanisms are there to detect it? And how do you correct it before it reaches the user? Right? So for this, there are two conditions. One is whether you are streaming the response or whether you're not. Right? So for people, streaming means that as soon as the first word in the response is available, it is streamed out, similar to like a Netflix movie, right? So in the case of streaming, there is no possible way to detect whether the answer is right or wrong, because you just have probably the first word, and then the second word comes, then the third word comes, right? So in streaming mode, there is no possible way. In a non-streaming world where people can wait to display to the user the answer, in that world, we are coming out with a new feature called explainability, right? And in this new feature of explainability, the entire response is judged by what are called these LLM as a judge to figure out whether there is any risk in the response. Now, the risk could be that it is a wrong or misleading answer, or the risk could be that it is violating brand guidelines, or some compliance thing, or some legal stuff that is required in the response, right? All of that will come as part of explainability. And when that is there, anyone who's using the API should be able to say, create the response, give me the judgments by explainability, and if it crosses or is below your required threshold, you can block it, or you can decide to show it with a red arrow or anything like that, right? So, like, I think we are one of the rare people who are going to have this explainability feature where the customer can decide whether how they want to attack the response before it is sent out to the user, right? But if anybody is doing this from a real-time perspective and streaming the response, then right now there is no way to trigger that on the fly. uh, should I take the next one from Jack Brown?
Sure, Jabron. Is it about Rocket Chat or something else?
No, this is the one on the customer side. How do you populate the custom context?
Okay, sure, sure.
Right. So, Jack, good question from Jack. Uh, if you're deploying the bot onto a customer site, then how do you set a custom context? Right. So, for this, there are two parts here. One is if you enable the web page awareness, then you don't have to do anything at your end. Our system will automatically detect the meta tags, detect the page, detect what the page is about, and use that as part of the context. That way, no like special web developer is required on the customer side to pass that context in. But if you want to push in like first party data, right? For example, who was the user, what's his name, what's his email, any other information about the user, then yes, a web developer on the customer side will have to push the information in, similar to how you would do like Google Analytics or any of those other places. So there needs to be a mechanism for creating this nice little package of information and setting it as part of the custom context if your first party data needs to be passed in.
Okay, no, I was just curious about when, say you're working with the government and they have a login through Okta or similar, they will have the login context available. And is there a way to assign tags into your bot through the layout or through the control panel to say read these tags in the customer site? Because I can tell you what the tags are, but I can't feed them directly into custom context.
Good point. Good point. So technically, yes, but that has not been enabled as yet. I think I understand what you're talking about. You want to inject like a little bit of like JavaScript, to capture the tags for that
Yeah.
specific website, and then say, okay, pass this as custom context. Am I right?
Yes, that's accurate.
Okay. Yeah. We'll think about how to enable this. And yes, that's a good feature. And what it'll allow you to do is on a per site basis, without requiring any developer, you can decide what sort of context you want to pull in. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Jack. That's a good one.
Also, Jack, you might want to see the starter kit thing. Maybe you can do some part of coding yourself and get that feature live on your own way. We have some embeds and chatbots as well, so you might want to take a look at that as well. And about the thing not getting approved by Meta and the test app, as you said, Connor. So the thing with Meta is like they're very restrictive with respect to what all apps you can deploy on their network. So the best way I could find, the fastest way was using Twilio, but again, it's a paid service, but it kind of works. So that's the first step. Next step will be to get it approved by Meta. What things to do, what not to do. Will have normal to dos for those which you should not do in your app to be verified, because we cannot on your behalf get your organization verified under Meta. So it's something that you will have to do eventually. So Twilio might be the best way for you to get this feature going if that's an urgent thing. But then again,
Yeah,
I'll
this
wait.
is I'm trying to do it for Facebook Messenger and Instagram comments. So I need it to be directly in the Meta platform. That's why I was wondering if you actually got it approved, because I have a test app and it works great. But I haven't got it approved as an official app, so I can add multiple people to it, multiple Facebook accounts. So you made you did you? I guess my question is, did you ever get yours approved by Meta?
No, not right now. So
Yeah.
like
Right.
we started developing these like maybe a week ago. So that's
Yeah.
still in progress to
Okay.
cover all those things. We
Well,
developed.
yeah, I mean, I will say if you could figure out what the right answer is to those questions, I would really appreciate you sharing those, because I've now submitted it twice with different answers, and it's annoying. They don't tell you why you get rejected. They just kind of say redo it. So yeah, also you or anyone else out there, if you've gotten approved for a custom GPT Meta app, I would love to know what you said in your application.
We do
Right.
have, I think, a guide, but I'll just shoot you after the call on Slack. We do
Okay,
have a
sounds
guide.
Connor, when you're submitting the app, are you telling Facebook that it will be used by multiple users on Facebook?
No, I say that how it works is the person adds their Facebook page, and because that's the only metadata we need to pass, and then I say we connect your custom GPT account to that meta page, and that's what we say we do.
Right, but it's going to be, your app is going to be used by multiple Facebook pages, correct?
Well, we're trying to. We'll see.
Right. Okay.
That's the goal. So there'd be multiple Facebook pages for multiple custom GPT projects
Okay.
and accounts.
From a risk management perspective,
Yeah.
if you're asking Facebook to approve an app that's going to be used on your account, that's
Hmm.
a low risk proposition for them. But if the app is going to be used on multiple accounts, let's say
Yeah.
million accounts, right? Then it increases the risk profile.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's why because like we did it for our account because that's how we built the test app, right? So like I know it works, and like that's what we did to do the screencast. So I guess the point is, in theory, we could just do multiple test apps for each user. I was just trying to make it a little simpler, but yeah, we could do that.
Sure. Let me see what I can do on that front. We first tried to get all the low-hanging fruits, Slack, Discord, Telegram. Now this is
Yeah,
the
definitely. Meta's tricky. So, but yeah, I know it works. So thank you all for putting it together. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and Jack, about that Rocket League, Rocket Chat thing, I'll just take a look at how it can be implemented there. It should be similar to Slack, I think, but I'll just keep you posted on that.
Cool. Priyansh, can I take a
Thank
next
you much.
question here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another question here from the C. In regulated industries like finance or healthcare, if an agent gives a wrong answer, what proof could I show an auditor that it was correct at the time? And the answer is to this is that explainability feature that we are about to launch. In fact, the feature was designed exactly with this in mind, right? That an AI response should be auditable by marketing, legal, compliance, sales, product, and whoever are the other stakeholders in that response. So that is coming down the pike, which will at least be able to show you like how was the AI thinking, what data did it have. It should have all the things available for a full auditability of the response. Now that said, can the response be blocked on the spot? That is the previous answer I had given, which is whether it was streamed or non-streamed. So, but at least as far as visibility and auditability, that is the full part that is about to be launched in the next few days.
Maria says have to go. Looking forward to the API documentation. Yeah, thanks, Maria. So I think we're done. I think we're done with most of the questions. I think the C, I'm not sure what's your original name, but I think you got the answer that you're looking for about the auditor thing. And okay. Yep. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for yeah. Okay. So we have just like a few more minutes. We can take questions or we can call it a day. Everyone is busy. I know. Thanks for taking the time to come up here, ask your questions, see through the presentations we had. Yeah. Alvin also says thanks. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. And if you have any questions, just shoot us on our community Slack channel. We are all there to answer your questions. Yeah. Thanks, Connor. Thanks. Yep.
Thanks,
Have a good day.
everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Have a good one. Bye.